Good morning, Junior 4. Today we will talk about a new lesson. Unit 1 consists of 4 lessons. Okay? Today we will talk about the lesson 1 that's called Measuring Tools. Measuring Tools. Before everything, we have to know what is the matter. What is the matter? You have to know that all things around us, it's called matter. All things around us, they called matter. Why? Because matter is anything that has mass and volume. Anything that has mass and volume. So what's the meaning of mass and what's the meaning of volume? Mass is the amount of matter in an object. Mass is the amount of matter in an object. What's the meaning of amount of matter? I will say example to explain the mass. If I have 2 bags, the first bag I put small things like pen, pencil, a ruler. Okay? The amount of matter in this bag is small. So the mass here is small. This bag will be light or heavy? It will be light. So the mass of this bag is small. Why? Because the amount of the matter in this object is small. Okay? In the another bag, I put all my books, my clothes, I put heavy things. So the amount of matter in this bag is large. So it will be so this bag will be heavy. So the difference between heavy and light, okay, the mass, okay, the mass here in the first bag is small and the mass in the second bag is large because the amount of the matter in the first bag is small, but the amount of the matter in the second bag is large. So what is the definition of the mass? It's the amount of matter in an object. The amount of matter in an object. The amount of matter in an object. Repeat with me the definition of matter. Matter, anything around us that has mass and volume. Anything that has mass and volume. Anything that has mass and volume. So what's the meaning of the mass? It's the amount of matter in an object. The amount of matter in an object. After that, what's the meaning of the volume? What's the meaning of the volume? Okay. It's the space occupied by the matter. Or the room, okay? This room. When I put out the desk and the tables and the chair, okay, and this chart and this computer, it will be space. All of the room is space. All of the room is space, nothing here. But when I take one desk and put it here, the desk takes this place, okay? The desk occupies this space or takes this space. I can't put anything in the same place. So, the volume is the space occupied by the matter. It's the space occupied by the matter, or the space taken, okay? Occupy a space means take a space. So, the space occupied by this desk, it's the volume of the desk, okay? So, I can, here in the definition of the matter, it's anything that has mass and volume, okay? It's anything that has mass and volume. I can replace the word volume and put occupies a space. I can replace the word volume and put occupy a space. So, we have 2 definitions of the matter. First one, it's anything that has mass and volume. The second definition is it's anything that has mass and occupies a space. We replace the word volume and put occupies a space or take a space. So we have 3 definitions, very, very important. They are matter, mass, volume. Matter is anything that has mass and volume. Okay? Even the air, it's a matter because the air has mass and volume. Okay? Even the air has mass and volume. So the air is a matter. The air we breathe, it's a matter. Okay? So matter is anything that has mass and volume, or anything that has mass and occupies a space. Okay? After that, the definition of mass, it's amount of matter in an object. The amount of matter in an object. And you have to remember the example, the two bags. I put here small amount of matter, so its mass is small. In the second bag, I put heavy things, so the amount of matter is big, so the mass is big or large. And finally, the volume, it's the space occupied by the matter. It's the space occupied by the matter. It's the space occupied by the matter. Okay, Junior 4. After that, we have some examples about the matter or objects they called matter. The shoes, the bag, the book, the camera, headphones, the watch, the mobile phone. Okay? All of these are matter. All of these are matter. So, a new question we have this year, gave a reason. Give a reason. Or say why. When asked me, all of these objects are matter. Why? The answer will be the definition of matter. The definition of the matter. Because all of them have mass and volume. And we have a small note here. It's called air is a matter. Why? Because it has mass and volume. Okay? Now we will talk about a new part. Okay? The length. Okay? The length. We have, how can we measure the length? Okay? If I want to know, okay, if I want to know the length of the small object and the length of the long objects, okay, first we have something called measuring tools and measuring units. Measuring tools and measuring tools and measuring tools here, and we have another thing called measuring units. Measuring units. What is the difference between tools and units? Tools, I can touch the tools. I can hold them. I can use them. Okay? But units, I can't touch them or hold them. So the difference between measuring tools and measuring units, I can hold or touch the measuring tools, but I can't touch or hold the measuring units. We have two measuring tools. The first one, measuring ruler, or we can say ruler only. And the second tool is the graduated tape. Repeat after me. Ruler, 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 graduated tape, graduated tape, graduated tape. Okay? Ruler, I can use the ruler to measure the length of short objects or short length. Okay? For example, the length of the pen or the book. Pen or book, small, short object or long object, it's a short object. So I can use the ruler to measure its length. Okay? So, measuring ruler or the ruler used to measure the short length. The length of short object or short length. Example, the length of the pen or the book. Okay? So, measuring ruler, it's used to measure short length. To measure short length. Ruler, short length. Ruler used to measure short length. Example, the length of the book or the pen. Okay? The second tool, it's for the long length. It's used to measure long length. Okay? It's called the graduated tape. Graduated tape. Graduated tape. It's used to measure the length of long objects or long length. Like the dimensions of the classroom. If I want to measure the length of the classroom, I will use the ruler? No, I will use the graduated tape. And this is a picture of the ruler, okay? And it's the picture of the graduated tape, okay? So what's the difference between ruler and graduated tape? Ruler to measure short length, graduated tape to measure long length. Ruler, short length, graduated tape, long length. Ruler, short length, graduated tape, long length. Short length like the length of the book or the pen. Long length like the dimensions of the classroom or the distance between the window and the door. Okay? It's a long length, so I can't use the ruler. So I will use the graduated tape. So I have two measuring tools of the length. Number one, ruler to measure short length like the length of the pen or the book. Okay? After that, the graduated tape, it's tool used to measure long length like the dimensions of the classroom. Okay, Junior 4? After that, I will talk about the measuring units. Measuring units. I can't hold the measuring units or touch them. I can't hold centimeter? No. Or meter? No. Or kilometer? No. But they are units suitable for measuring the length. Number 1, centimeter. Number 1, centimeter. Number 2, meter. Number 3, kilometer. So the measuring units are centimeter, meter, and kilometer. Centimeter, meter, and kilometer. Number 1 centimeter, it's unit suitable for measuring short length like the length of the pen. When I hold the ruler to measure the length of the pen, okay, it will be 14, for example. 14, I can't say 14 meters, 14 kilometers. No, it will be 14 centimeters because centimeter is small unit, okay? So it's suitable for measuring the length of short objects like the length of the book or the pen. The second unit is bigger than centimeter. It's called meter, okay? And meter, it's a unit suitable for measuring long length. When I ask to know the dimensions of a classroom, I will use the graduated tape or ruler. I will use the graduated tape to know the dimensions of the classroom. It will be 2 or 3. 2 or 3 meters? Yes. 2 or 3 centimeters? No. Why? Because the dimensions of the classroom, long length or short length, it's a long length. So meter, it's a unit suitable for measuring long length like the dimensions of the classroom. The biggest unit, okay, it's the kilometer. It's the kilometer. So it's a unit that's suitable for measuring very long length. Very long length. If I want to know the distance between two cities, between Cairo and Alexandria, for example. Cairo and Alexandria, for example. It will be by centimeter. The distance will be by centimeter? No. By meter? No. It will be by the kilometer. Okay? It will be by the kilometer. So we have 3 measuring units. Number 1, centimeter. Number 2, meter. Number 3, kilometer. Number 1, centimeter, it's suitable for measuring what? Short length, like the length of the pen. When I hold the ruler and to know the length of the book or the pen, it will be 15 or 20 centimeters because the pen or book short objects. Okay. After that, bigger unit meter. It's suitable for measuring long length like the dimensions of the classroom. Okay? Okay? After that, the kilometer, it's the biggest unit here. for measuring very long lengths like the distance between Cairo and Alexandria or between any two cities. Okay? So, let's repeat with me. What is the matter? Matter is anything that has mass and volume. Anything that has mass and volume, or we can replace the word volume and put occupy a space and put occupy a space. What's the mass and what's the volume? Mass is the amount of matter in an object. And remember the example I said, okay? The volume is the space occupied by the matter. The space occupied by the matter. Remember when he asked you, gave a reason. You have to know, or you have to remember that you have to say why. Say why. When he asks you, the book is a matter, you will answer because the book is, because the book has mass and volume. Because the book has mass and volume. Even the air is a matter. Give a reason. Air is a matter because the air has mass and volume. After that, we talk about the length, measuring tools, and measuring units. Measuring tools, ruler and graduated tape. Ruler and graduated tape. Ruler for to measure short length, like the length of the book or the pen. Graduated tape to measure long length, like the dimensions of the classroom. After that, the measuring units, centimeter, meter, and kilometer. Centimeter for measuring short length, meter for measuring long length, kilometer for measuring very long length. Okay? You have to know that you have now evaluation or some exercise to solve together. Okay? Number 1, complete. Is the amount of matter in an object, it will be mass. It will be mass. Volume, number 2, volume is the space that's occupied by the object. Number 3, matter is anything that has mass and volume. Number 2, length measuring tools. We have 2 measuring tools, ruler and graduated tape. Ruler and graduated tape. Number 5, length measuring units. We have 3 measuring units, centimeter, meter, and kilometer. After that, we have the second question. It's write the function or the importance. Write the function. Number 1, ruler. It's used to measure the length of short objects. The ruler for measuring short length. Okay? After that, centimeter, it's a tool or unit. It's a unit. Centimeter, it's a unit used to measure the length of short object or the small length or short length. Okay? It's used to measure the small length as the length of the pen. You have exercise. Now we solved the exercise. It's in the main booklet. Okay? You have homework, worksheet number 1 in the weekend sheet booklet. Your homework will be page 1 and page 2. Worksheet number 1. Okay? And I will send you the examples of the worksheet. Bye-bye, Junior 4.